Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the DIY organized by Rotaract Club of Alumni of University of Moratuwa in collaboration with Leo Club of Moratuwa, Rathmalana. Hope I'm audible. Can someone please confirm whether I'm audible?
Yes, Methini, you're audible.
Okay, great. So we are thrilled to have you all here. So actually, මම සිංහලෙන් කිව්වොත් අපි හැමෝම රථවාහන භාවිතා කරනවා. දැනටමත් වාහනවල හිමිකරුවෝ ඒ වගේම අලුතෙන් වාහනයක් ගන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන අයත් අපේ එක්ක අද එකතු වෙලා ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් මේ DIY ව්‍යාපෘතිය සංවිධානය කිරීමේ ප්‍රධාන අරමුණ තමයි ඒ සඳහා අවශ්‍ය වාහනයක් මේන්ටේන් කරන විදිහ අලුතෙන් වාහනයක් ගන්නකොට ඒ සඳහා අවශ්‍ය දැනුම කුසලතාව වලට ලබා දීම. ඒ ක්‍රියාවලිය මේක this is a series of projects. So actually මේක online දැන් මෙතන මෙහෙම වුණාට ඔයාලට අනිවාර්යෙන් physically පොඩ්ඩක් exciting දෙයක් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න පුළුවන් towards the end of this program. අපි බලමු මොකක්ද කියලා. So DIY is all about the knowledge and skills to excel in vehicle maintenance and make informed choices when selecting a vehicle. ඒකට අද මේ session එකේදී automobile maintenance, routine maintenance, ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කාලෙන් කාලයට කරන්න ඕන maintenance මොනවද, daily කරන්න ඕන maintenance මොනවද, visual inspection, automobile technology insights වගේ ගොඩාක් key points කතා කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest speaker for the evening, Mr. Hiran Rajasuriya. Mr. Hiran Rajasuriya කියන්නේ Rajasuriya. Mr. Hiran Rajasuriya කියන්නේ University of Moratuwa Mechanical Engineering අංශයෙන් උපාධිධාරී DMO PLC යටතේ අගනා පුහුණුවක් ලබාගත් අති සුවිශේෂී පුද්ගලයෙක්. So everyone, please give him a warm virtual welcome for this event.
Thank you, Methini, for that warm welcome. So once again, I also welcome you all to this session, and I hope I'm visible and audible to you. Can someone confirm?
Yes, you're audible, Mr. Hiran.
So yeah, thank you. So මම මේ session එක English වලින් පොඩ්ඩක් වැඩිපුර conduct කරන්න කියලා හිතුවා. එතකොට අපිට තියෙන language barriers ඔක්කොම eliminate කරලා ගොඩ දෙනෙක්ට මේ content එක තේරුම් ගන්න පහසු වෙයි. ඒක බාධාවක් කරගන්න ඕන වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ සිංහලෙන් English වලින් ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න. But I must apologize. I'm not fluent in Tamil, but if we have a translator in the audience, I think we can manage with that as well. So about the topic, here I plan on talking about the vehicle maintenance and the motor mechanics and some key aspects where you need to think about when you're buying a vehicle. So this that will be under the smart vehicle selection session. As I said, firstly, we will be looking through general maintenance procedures. Then I will be explaining a little bit in depth on routine maintenance. And lastly, I would address some frequently asked questions. Again, මුලින්ම වාහනයක අපි නිකන් සතිපතා නැත්නම් මාසපතා අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් maintenance procedures ටිකක් දිහා බලමු. ඊට පස්සේ අපි සෑම යම්කිසි නියත කිලෝමීටර්ස් mileage එකකදී කරන maintenance procedures follow කරන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙන maintenance procedures ටිකක් බලමු. ඊළඟට මම පිළිතුරු සපයන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ගොඩ දෙනෙක්ගෙන් නිතර දෙවේලේ අහන්න ලැබෙන ප්‍රශ්න වලට පිළිතුරු ටිකක් දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. Okay, so without further ado, let's start the topic. So general maintenance. My purpose in discussing this topic is to avoid scenarios like this. So there are mechanics who charge like very overpriced for simple repairs. So if you have a general knowledge, a general overview about how the vehicle operates, you can avoid situations like this. So you see here, it's only a flat tire and you need to change that tire. That is all that needs to be done. But the mechanic might say that you need some crazy repair. So if you have an overview, you can understand this man is not true to his work. So Let's look at the content. First, I would like to ask a question. I know it's annoying, but I think we can keep this as a discussion because we can learn, I can learn from you and you can learn from me. So the first question is, can somebody say what this is? This yellow color top stick. And I've helped you a little bit. You can drop it into the chat as well. මෙන්න මේ පින්තූරේ තියෙන කෝට්ටක් වගේ තියෙන උපකරණය මොකක්ද කියලා කවුරු හරි දන්නවා නම් yeah, it's not actually a measuring device. That's bit ambiguous. Indicator, yes, it's an indicator, yes, but there's a specific name. Let's give some few more chances. You can unmute yourself or you can just drop it in the chat. Yes, we got the answer. It's the engine dipstick. So it's an indicator of the engine oil level. Yes, that's correct. And though it can't actually give out a measurement, you can just get the general idea about the engine oil level of your vehicle. So where is it located? It is located generally, or I wouldn't say generally, mostly or always near the engine bay area. So if you look closely around your engine bay, you will see this yellow head pointing out somewhere from. So when you take it out, you can see markings. It might be a punched hole, but it's not always a punched hole. It doesn't need to be. Depending on the manufacturer, it would be different. There will sometimes it will be just a marked line or a drawn line. So don't focus on the hole always. It might be different, but I'm sure there'll be two marks, similar marks, a line or a groove or something. So your engine oil level should be in between these two marks always. So if the mechanic says they have changed your oil or done refilled your oil, you can check once you take the vehicle home. You can actually check your engine oil level, and it should not be below this level, the specified level by the manufacturer. And the oil color. Here you can see the oil color is like a rich golden brown. So it should be like that, not this like dark brown color, burnt looking oil. That means you need to change your oil immediately. So what sort of signals do you get when you need an engine oil change? So as a daily driver, you would know what your engine usually sounds like. So if there is a different sound coming from your engine, it will be good if you just drop into your garage and have a look at your engine oil level, and maybe if it needs changing, do it. Then if your engine is overheating frequently, so if you must be familiar with this dial gauge in your dashboard, your visual meter area located behind your steering wheel. So the C stand for cool and H for heat. So if it is heating, this dial would be close to the edge or almost on the edge on this red light. So that means the engine is overheating. That may be one scenario, may be because your engine oil level is not up to the optimum level. So you need to check it, refill it, or change your oil. Then another thing is, if the dashboard indicator, I'll show you in the next slide, is always lighting up, your oil level is always showing as low. So then you can know that you need to refill your engine oil. So you can do it yourself, or you can go to your garage. But if you are doing,
cool.
Hello, Muhammad. Sorry. So you can do it yourself, but if you're doing an oil change yourself, you need to know what grade engine oil your vehicle needs. That's critically important. Each vehicle has a specified engine oil which is recommended by your vehicle manufacturer. So you can't just go to a shop ask for engine oil and do a refill. That's wrong. You need to check for your engine oil level grade. There are specific gradings based on your even your geographical location, because like cars in Canada and in those countries, they operate in very low temperature. So based on those conditions as well, the engine oil grading, there is engine oil grading. So you need to know what engine oil you should apply. If you don't have an idea, better to go to your garage or your vehicle supplier, the manufacturer, the agent, anywhere. Then, if the oil is sludge, oil viscosity is very high, it's not flowing, then you definitely need to change your engine oil. That's not a good sign. Your engine will incur damage while running. Then also the white smoke from exhaust. Here, I'm not talking about the when you start the car in the morning, you might notice a white vapor sort of leaving from your exhaust for a small while. That's not what I'm referring to here, because that's normal. That's due to the morning dew, the low temperatures in the morning. That's perfectly normal, and that's a good indicator that your engine is good. But if when you're running day to day daily, if you see continuous white smoke occurring here and there, so this signifies that you're actually burning your engine oil. You're not supposed to burn your engine oil. You only burn your fuel. So engine oil is there to lubricate and to facilitate the heat dissipation. So it should not be burning. The white smoke from exhaust can signify the burning of engine oil. So you need to go to your shop and correct it. Then something really, really important, you have to always insert the dipstick back properly back. When you're inserting it, you can feel the pressure in the hand. It's not something complicated. When you're inserting, first you will feel a groove, then another. Most commonly, you will feel like two grooves. First one is the basic fit, then the second one, it's completely locked. Don't go pushing like putting your entire body force on the dipstick. You'll break the dipstick line, and it will be a huge mess and a maintenance cost as well. So be careful, and it's easy. It's a easy procedure. Don't overdo it, but you can do it at home. So how to do it correctly? So this is the procedure. First, you locate the dipstick, then you can drag it out, then wipe it with a clean cloth. Why do you need to do this, follow this method is like when you're driving your car, the engine oil will be splashing around inside the engine case, right? So the dipstick would be washed out with engine oil. You would not be able to get a clear reading. So first, you should drag the dipstick out, then clean it with a clean cloth. Then insert it back, thoroughly insert it back, hold it for a while, then drag it out again. Once you do follow those steps, only you will get the actual reading, the indication. You can see clearly a clean oil level between the marks or the below or above. So only the between the marks, if the engine oil level is between the marks, that's good. If it is above or below, you need to take do go to a garage and remove some oil or refill oil. And when you are inserting, you should correctly, thoroughly insert it back. Why I am emphasizing on that is here you can see in this small video, there's sort of like smoke coming out. This is not actually smoke, it is unburned fuel. So, you know, the engine operates in a compression scenario, so in high pressures. So some amount of air fuel mixture will leak into your engine bay, engine oil bay, or the crankcase. So there's a separate system called the engine breathing line, where this leaked air-fuel mixture will be reinserted into the intake manifold. So you don't need to know about all those systems and technical aspects, but just know that there is a system like that, and that is there to minimize your fuel leakage. So if you do not close your dipstick correctly, you would be losing some amount of fuel. So take notice of that when you're doing this engine oil checkup. And here you can see the markers of in the dashboard. If you see these lights light up, this means your engine oil pressure is low and or the engine oil level is low. And this yellow color sort of weird shaped light is your check engine lights. There, it's indicating something is wrong with your engine. Maybe with the some component is broke or some sensor is not getting readings, all which can be side effects of not lubricating the engine correctly. So why engine lubrication is important is uh, when you consider the engine, it's basically a metal uh, fully metal component. So you need to, when it is operating at high speeds, there will be heat and friction, and due to that friction, there will be heat. So this, after a while, this metal will sort of try to weld and will not operate. So to avoid that, manufacturer has specified very thin clearances, a millimeter, micrometer level gaps, which needs to be maintained. And in these micrometer level gaps, there needs to be oil. So this system has already been designed. So you need to follow those restrictions and clearance values and oil grades to allow your engine the optimum life. So you don't need to know in depth about those values. You just need to follow the manufacturer specified guidelines and make sure to refill your engine oil in routine maintenance scenarios, and check your engine oil levels once in a while, especially if there is something unusual with your how your engine operates. So then I would be moving on to the next critical component, the tires. So then the tires are also really, really important because those are what ensures your contact on the road. So if you're, it's what guides you on the road basically. So it's really, really important. When we consider the tire maintenance, we can discuss it under 4 areas. I would talk about the wheel alignment, wheel balancing, tire pressure, and feather wear. So what is wheel alignment? Wheel alignment relates to your actually the steering. So you know when you steer, the front tires turn in the direction you're steering. So unless you're not driving a high-end car like a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, you would not have your rear wheel drive setting available. Most cars only have front wheel steering. In long limousine type vehicles, you would encounter rear wheel steering as well. So wheel alignment is related to the steering. So there needs to be specific angles maintained at all times in the steering assembly to gain the optimum turning circle for your vehicle, to gain the optimum handling characteristics of your vehicle. That means to keep the vehicle in control at all times, to move the vehicle according to your expected steering input. So in wheel alignment, what they would do is they would adjust your camber and toe angles according to the manufacturer specified values. These angles, camber and toe, relate to the angles with the wheel. They are they are very small angles in between 0 to 10 degrees. So it's very highly unlikely you would observe it from a car that's in manufacturers like factory setting. Some people go to extremes like manipulating these angles. That's a different scenario. You need to do specific calculations for that. Just changing these angles is very risky. So that's the importance of the wheel alignment. And then the wheel balancing. Wheel balancing is a core mechanical theory, so it's also an important aspect of the wheel. Most of the people regard this as not important, but that's wrong. Especially if you feel like the vehicle is bouncing at high speeds, your vehicle is not stable at like moderate speeds. That may be due to the wheels are not being balanced. So if you do some operation that adds to the wheels, that adds weight to the wheels, like even a small thing like 5 grams, you should always conduct a wheel balancing operation. Think, for example, you install pressure monitoring sensors in all four wheels. Then you need to do a wheel balancing operation, else you would experience a damage to your wheels. And no matter what the weight is, it's better if you can get a wheel balancing done. Of course, if you are changing your tires, they do a wheel balancing. They must do a wheel balancing. You can observe. If they don't do a wheel balancing, they don't know what they are doing. So you should ask them about that. So if you are getting a tire change, you need to do that wheel balancing. Then we come to the tire pressure. So this is sort of another frequently asked questions. What is the optimum pressure for my tires? So funnily enough, you can find the answer on your vehicle itself. So on your driver side door panel, when you open the door, you would see this sticker. Most of you must have seen but ignored it. And there, most of the vehicles, they have specified your tires pressure levels information. Also, you can get the same information from your vehicle manual. So they have mostly commonly most of the cars in Sri Lanka we go with 32 psi, but that shouldn't be. It's better if you can follow the manufacturer specified levels, and especially in cases like the BMW X5, the top end cars where the the tire pressures are different. The front tire pressure and the rear tire pressure are different. You need to keep an idea on that and maintain that specific levels, because that vehicle is designed to handle in those conditions, in that elevation. So that's critically important. If your vehicle has two tire pressures, the front tire pressure is different from the rear tire pressure, you need to maintain that specific tire pressure levels. That would save you money in the long run. Then about the feather wear. So as you know, with when you are using your tires, with time they will degrade. Here you can see a clear picture of a tire degradation. This is actually a photo from a Porsche Panamera. Yeah. So you can basically see there are no grooves available. All of them have been worn out, and you can actually see the metal wires inside. So the rubber has also worn out. So this is actually normal wear with time, which happens with time. Then so if your tire looks like this, you need to change your tires. Then apart from the usage, you can have tire wear scenarios which are not due to the usual operation. They might be due to some other system breakdowns. You can observe some, you can identify some of your vehicle systems are need repairs from by observing your tires. So the easiest one too will be the center wear. That means you're running your tire pressure is too high, so only the middle of the tire gets worn out while the edges look new. Then the edge wear, which shows that you're running on low tire pressure. So your tire pressure is low, so only the edges of your tires are getting worn out, and the middle looks better or new. Then coming on to toe wear and camber wear, sorry, these are alignment problems that, and you can also identify this by keeping your nail at the edge of the tire, then drag it along across the tire, and you will feel like the nail is going on a set of staircases. So it's either going up or going down. This means you need to recheck your alignment. There's feather wear in your tires. So taking good care of your tires will save you a lot of money in the long run, because like a good set of tires will cost at least around 50,000. So and you can get added mileage with a good set of tires. Like for an example, if you go for a Pirelli Goodyear, you can achieve like 50,000 kilometers. Like and also if you stick to a lower end tires, you will get the cost benefit, but you won't get the mileage from those. You will get mostly around 30,000 kilometers. So there's a sort of like a pros and cons scenario. Then talking about patch wear, you can identify this like random patches worn out in the on the tire face. So this means like you need to do a tire balance operation, get it done. That is critical to ensure your optimum life of tires. Then the cup wear. So this means the tire wear starts from an edge and moves into the middle. So this indicates that you need your suspension system needs a repair. Maybe the dampers are experiencing leakages or something like that. So you should be aware of that and take the necessary, do the necessary repairs, which will ensure the optimum life of your tires. Then here you can see sort of like exclamation mark in a weird sort of symbol. This is the dashboard symbol indicating low tire pressure. So that if that lights up, you need to get to the nearest tire shop and refill your tires. So before coming on to the fluids, I would also like, no, I will, no, I'll talk about it here, about your spare wheel. So spare wheel is not designed to run for long range, long mileages. I have seen people riding long distances, especially even going on trips with their spare tires on and traveling at very high speeds, maybe even in the highway. So this is, I would come out and say a stupid, very stupid thing to do. So if you consider your spare wheel, keep it on the right side of your actual wheel, you would see the difference in thickness just by observing. It's basically half of your actual thickness of your actual wheel. So the spare wheel is only designed to get you to the nearest tire shop. So if you have your spare tire on, don't drive in the way you would normally drive. That would seriously damage your suspension systems and other components, which in the long run would cost you very much. So the spare, unless you're driving an off-road vehicle where you would get the actual size tire as the spare tire, in cars you would not get that. You would most probably get a thin tire which only ensures a small mileage and a slow speed. So use the spare tire wisely. Then we come to the fluids. So a vehicle is a combination of different systems, starting from mechanical, electrical, and electronic, and fluid flowing systems. So the first, most simple fluid system is the wiper fluid. So you can just observe this symbol on top of the cap, and this is the like globally accepted symbol for the wiper fluid. When you open your engine bonnet, the hood, you would commonly locate this cap where the steering wheel, the side of the vehicle. So that would be the right side of the vehicle. So it's not like I don't know whether it's a global standard. It may be different from European American cars. On most Japanese cars, you would locate this on the steering wheel side of the vehicle. So it basically is the reservoir for which ensures water supply to clean your windshield. So cleaning your windshield when suddenly there are bird droppings or some sort of dirt damaging, obstructing your visual intake. So you need to clean your windscreen. So this reservoir, this tank helps to hold the wiper fluid in it, and you can refill it at home anytime. You just need to open your bonnet, then open the cap and insert your hose, and then turn on the tap and fill it. Don't let it overflow. Fill it to a sensible level. Then remove the hose carefully because you do not want water to lodge inside the engine bay. The water may get trapped in the unwanted spaces, which can cause corrosion in the long run, and it may as well cause short circuits as well. So be aware of that, be mindful of that, and do these procedures carefully. Then moving on to the visual inspection of the brake fluid. So this is also commonly located on the driver side of the vehicle. So and it's also commonly located near to the wiper blades, where the wiper blades reside when they are sort of in the off position. So along that edge, you would find this brake fluid reservoir. It's also easily recognizable by the inscription. It would say brake fluid, high pressure, do not open, and a dot number, dot 3, dot 4, dot 3 point something. So that's the brake fluid number for your specified for your vehicle. You also need to follow that dot level because your brake system is designed for the pressure of that particular fluid. So it is important, the dot value is important, and it is also important to not to open this brake reservoir at home because brake fluid absorbs humidity, water droplets very quickly. So that would change the properties of your brake fluid. So you do not want to open the brake reservoir at any point. And when you take your vehicle to the garage, if when they are refilling brake fluid, they will probably open the brake fluid bottle in front of you, breaking the seals. They would not use a brake fluid bottle which has been used for another customer because brake fluid, as I said, absorbs moisture very rapidly. So they don't keep brake fluid bottles open or unsealed. They would be always breaking open a new bottle for you. So you can do, when you open your bonnet, you can locate this reservoir and do a visual inspection. The brake fluid line should be between min or max, and mostly like just above the maximum point is okay, but it should never be below the minimum level. So if the brake fluid level is below, you need to refill your brake fluid and do an inspection. So there is a point where your brake fluid is being leaked. So be aware of that. Brake fluid facilitates all the braking forces in your vehicle. So if there is no brake fluid, you will be traveling at a constant speed into an accident. So you would not get any brake force from your vehicle. Then the cooling system. So this cooling system is not, I'm not talking about the air conditioner. This cooling system is actually there for to cool the engine. So the engine is designed to run at conditions. When I mean the engines, this specific system cools the engine block mainly. So the engine oil cools the engine components like the valves, valve heads, uh, the uh, the rocker arms, likewise, the moving parts. Here, the coolant flows through the engine blocks and may be used to cool the engine block and the cylinder walls and likewise. So the optimum operating temperature of the engine is around 80 Celsius to 90 Celsius. So the coolant system is like a refrigeration system for the engine block. It manages the engine at this optimum level without letting it overheat. You can identify it, locate it at the passenger side of the vehicle most commonly, and also you can identify it by this distinguished color. It's most commonly pink or either pink or green. Those are the colors I have seen commonly. So it would have some significantly like dashing color, or else you can locate it also by the inscription on the lid saying coolant, because some vehicles use just plain water, mostly in old vehicles. Some vehicles have a mixture, a ratioed mixture of water and a chemical coolant. And in hybrid cars, it is important to note that the manufacturer has specified a specific coolant for hybrid cars. So it is important that you only refill your system with that specific coolant. Do not add water to your hybrid car's coolant system at any time. If you drive a normal car, then it probably don't matter. Just double check with your garage or your manufacturer whether when you open it, if it is colorless, it's probably water. If it is green, most probably they are using a ratio of water and a chemical. So adding water would not make a drastic difference. But check with your garage and learn what sort of coolant they are using. The manufacturer specified what this manufacturer has specified. So these are the symbols which you can observe on the dashboard if your engine is overheating. So if this like sort of tank symbol says that your coolant level is low, it's not a symbol available in all vehicles, but the other two may be most commonly available. So the tank symbol stands for that your coolant level is low. Other two symbols like a thermometer submerged in the fluid, those two symbols signifies that your engine is overheating. So look out for those as well and do these visual inspections. Uh, Better to keep the coolant and brake oil inspection to a visual inspection only. And the wiper fluid, no worries, you can carry it out yourself and do it as well. Then, after the general maintenance, I would be talking about the routine maintenance. Why routine maintenance is important is that that's what makes your car lifetime increase your car's lifetime. That would increase your car's lifetime. And also, I have to emphasize on the fact that the car service is not equal to a car wash. I have seen like people follow some random procedures when talking about car service. That should not be followed. So these are the things that should be followed in an oil change, in a routine maintenance procedure. Firstly, the oil change. As I mentioned before, it is crucial to have the engine oil level to the specified levels. So to ensure the lubricated engine and running smoothly. And also it is important to follow the manufacturer specified engine oil level. So if you are if you put your car to your manufacturer or agent regularly, for example, if you have a Toyota and you do the services at Toyota, you don't need to worry about the manufacturer's specifications because they would know that. And if you put your car to a place where like internationally recognized or a locally recognized place, then also you might not need to worry, but just check when you receive the bill what type of oil they have used. If you go to the nearest cleaning place available for vehicles, then you should be aware of these things and follow these procedures to ensure your car to run smoothly. Then the tire maintenance. Apart from the factors I talked at general maintenance, of course, they will be doing a wheel alignment at the end of the vehicle service. Apart from that, they will rotate your tires in a routine maintenance, which is done most generally at every 5,000 kilometers. They would do this. So they would rotate your tires. What I mean by that is they would switch your front tires and back tires. So vehicles are mostly front wheel driven or rear wheel driven and all wheel driven. So the application of force from the engine is different from a front wheel driven engine to the rear wheel driven engine. So if it is a front wheel driven engine, your front wheels will wear out more considered to your rear wheels. So you will have uneven wear in the tires. So to mitigate that, they will rotate your tires. They would take your front tires and fit them to the back, and take your rear tires and fit them to a front during the routine maintenance procedure. Make note that this is done only for front and back, not left and right. So they don't switch left and right tires, they switch the front and back tires. So then the brakes inspection. So this is not like done like every 5,000 kilometers. This is done when you hear this, when you experience this squealing or grinding noises when you brake. So I'm sure if you are a daily driver, you will have you must have experienced this noise. So if you're hearing this squealing noise repeatedly, that means you need to change your brake pads. The squealing noise doesn't signify that your brake pads are broken necessarily. that's a designing trick engineers have done. There's a small needle in your brake pads. As the brake pads wear out, they will grind with your brake pad and generate the noise, indicating that you need a brake pad change. So if you experience that noise, you should do a brake pad change. Then the fluid levels. Apart from the fluid levels I discussed earlier, there's another important fluid, the transmission fluid, which is again really important if you have a CVT or a dual clutch. I think some of you may not know what CVT is. CVT is continuous variable transmission. It's a bit different. Actually, can't say there are gear ratios, but not gears. It's achieved by belt drive. So dual clutch, it's a clutch. There are two clutches, sort of thing. Simply saying. And so this transmission fluid is critically important for CVTs and dual clutch. There are specified transmission fluids for CVTs, not for all CVTs. Based on your CVT, the oil will also change. So you need to have an idea on what type of CVT fluid is required for your vehicle. Again, if you are bringing the vehicle to the manufacturer or the agent, you might not need to worry about that critically. Then the power steering fluid, if you have a hydraulically powered power steering unit, then you need to keep and get an idea on the power steering fluid level and what type of power steering fluid is used. And I discussed on the windshield washer fluid before. And the low engine oil levels can cause engine overheating issues. Then another critical component in the engine is the air filter, which supplies intake air to the engine. So the optimum amount of air would get the optimum combustion point and generate the maximum power. So the air filter is a critical component. But I did not address it at the general maintenance phase because there are, depending on your manufacturer, accessing the air filter would be quite tricky, I would say. So for large engine vehicles such as pickup trucks and performance vehicles, the air filter is sort of securely latched using nails, and you would require tools to access the air filter. But in most common vehicles, you wouldn't need special tools to access the air filter. It would be a basic, just a lock, which you can undo by hand. But it's better to keep that part to the trained mechanic, because that's a critical component where if dirt gets inside the engine, that would result in a high maintenance cost for you. Then the battery maintenance. So when in old cars, we used to remember like we do battery water refills. But in most hybrid vehicles and modern vehicles, the battery comes sealed and you can't do anything about that. But when you take the vehicle to a routine maintenance, they will get a battery check from using a special device, and that small slip will be attached to your bill. So please go through that bill and that slip and get an idea about the battery health of your vehicle. So it is important because a battery can cost quite a lot, and you don't need the battery replacements like every 5,000 kilometers. It would last like 5 years, like a maximum around 5 years. So if you monitor your battery health through the battery report, that will save you some cost in the long run. So here you can see pictures of a new air filter, which is clean and white. And this is the dirty one, filled with dirt, the black one. You need to get rid of it and insert a new air filter. And here you can see the green color device that is used to take the battery health report. Here you can see the battery report. It's a small, just a small paper slip, and you can get it from your maintenance service provider, or the manufacturer will give you the necessary information. Then moving on routine maintenance, you can monitor your lights and signals. Every light and signal should operate correctly for your own safety as well as the others on the road, especially the signal lights, the indicator lights, and your other lights as well. They are also important. So belts and hoses, in a routine inspection, your mechanic will look at, check upon leakages and other which are broken or cracked, degrading, identify them and replace them. And there's another common noise you can hear from when the fan belt is worn out. When you start the vehicle in the morning, you sort of hear this chiri chiri sort of noise. It's if it is like there for a long while, then that means you need to replace your fan belt. Then the suspension and steering. It is a critical system of your vehicle which ensures you stick to the road. So if you notice bouncing, swaying, the car is not stable like it was before, and you need to put more effort into steering the vehicle. This means like you have suspension and steering repairs pending. So you should get it checked. These are also not routinely done for 5,000 kilometers. You might experience them in the long run. Then the exhaust system. Exhaust system also is a good indicator of when systems are failing. If there are unnecessary high noises coming from the exhaust system, or there are weird smokes coming out, white smoke, black smoke. In diesel vehicles, there is a carbon filter. So when this carbon filter is filled up, you would get sort of black smoke. So you can change the diesel filter and run, lowering your emissions. So keep an idea on that and monitor your exhaust system. If there's something, if you feel something is wrong in your vehicle, you can maybe identify by observing the exhaust. Then please follow your scheduled maintenance. Your maintenance service provider, your manufacturer, or your agent will specifically say, do your next service at this mileage, at this mileage. So take your vehicle to the service at that particular point, which will help you to save a cost in the long run. And there are some special services, special operations where you need to do your timing belt replacements, maybe spark plug changes, which relates to engine tune-ups, and there are a few other more which you would experience if you use a car for about more than 5 years, around 5 years. Then cleanliness. You always must ensure the vehicle is clean, both inside and out. The outside helps to avoid corrosion, and keeping the inside clean would help to keep out animals such as rats and squirrels and cockroaches and stuff. So it's better if you can clean your inside of the vehicle once in a while, as well as outside. Keeping it clean would help you to avoid corrosion and such scenarios. Then the documentation. So that's also an important part where many of our Sri Lankan vehicle users ignore. If you have good documentation records, that would help you in selling your vehicle. The buyer would feel comfortable, confident in buying your vehicle because you have followed the correct maintenance procedures and you have proof for it. So that's a part where most of the people miss, and it should be not so. You can keep a track record of your maintenance procedures. Then I come to the last part in the routine maintenance. It is not actually a maintenance procedure. It's done if there's something wrong in the electrical electronic system. So this is called the OBD scanner, onboard diagnostic scanner. So in the pictures, it's shown a simpler scanner. There are more advanced scanners available even in Sri Lanka, which can even scan like a McLaren Land Rover sort of high-end top cars. So they have the ability to scan all the electronic systems, easy communicate with the ECU, and give out what's wrong, where is the problem, give all the problem tracking, the history, the path to correct it. So this OBD port is commonly located under your steering wheel column. With the technological innovations, there are 14 pins, 16 pins, different sort of pins. You can locate it underneath your steering column. Don't mess with it. It's used for this particular scanner. So I think we'll take a small break here. Mithini.
Yes. So thank you, Mr. Hiran, for your enlightening presentation. Hold on, everyone. Mr. Hiran is not done yet. We'll be diving deeper into the automobile world shortly. But first, let's introduce the workshop and what you can expect from it through a small video clip.
හයි මම මාලක දුලන්ත ඉතින් DIY එකේ ෆේස් 2 එකේ කියන්නේ ෆිසිකල් ස්ටේෂන් එක ඔයගලන්ට කරන්න ඉන්නේ මම. ඉතින් එදාට ඔයගලන්ට ඇවිල්ලා මේ ඔන්ලයින් ස්ටේෂන් එකේ කියා දෙන ඔයිල් චේන්ජර්ස් ඒ වගේම කූලන්ට් වාහනේ චෙක් කරගන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක ප්‍රැක්ටිකලි අපි කියලා දෙනවා එදාට. ඒ වගේම ඔයගලන්ගේ එමර්ජන්සි බ්‍රේක් ඩවුන් එකක් වුණාම සේෆ්ටි ඉන්ස්ට්‍රක්ෂන් වලට කොහොමද ඒක හරියට වැඩ කරන විදිය. ඒ වගේම ටයර් පංචයක් වගේ ගියොත් කොහොමද හරියට ටයර් එකක් චේන්ජ් කරගන්නේ. ඒ වගේම වාහනයක බ්‍රේක් පෑඩ්ස් ක්ලච් ප්ලේට්ස් වගේ දේවල් ඔයගොල්ලෝ චේන්ජ් කරන්න ඉන්නවා නම් කොහොමද හරියටම දැනගන්නේ මේක බ්‍රේක් පෑඩ් ගෙවිලාද ක්ලච් ප්ලේට්ස් අවුට් වෙලාද ඒ දේවල් කොහොමද ඔයගොල්ලෝ හරියටම දැනගන්නේ ඒ වගේම වාහනයක හෙල්ත් රිපෝට් එකක් ගන්නවා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද වාහනයක ස්කෑන් කරනවා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද ඒකෙන් වෙන්නේ මොනවාද වාහනයක ස්කෑන් කරන්න ඕනෙමද ඒ වගේ දේවල් අපි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් සෙෂන් එකේදී කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ඒ වගේම විශේෂයෙන්ම වාහනයක් අලුතෙන් ගන්න ඉන්න කෙනෙක්ට වාහනයක් තියෙන වාහනේ විකුණලා අලුත් වාහනයකට මාරු වෙන්න ඉන්න කෙනෙක්ට අපි අලුතෙන් වාහනයක් ගනිද්දී ඒ වාහනේ කොහොමද හරියට චෙක් කරගන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය බේසික් විදිහට අපි කොහොමද මේ වාහනේ ඇක්සිඩන්ට් වෙලාද ඊට පස්සේ වාහනේ එන්ජින් කන්ඩිෂන් හොඳයිද ඒ වගේ දේවල් චෙක් කරගන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක අපි එදාට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියලා දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් ඔයගොල්ලෝ මම හිතනවා එදාට ආවොත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ වාහන ගැන තියෙන ඒ දැනුම ගොඩක් වැඩි කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි. එහෙනම් DIY phase 2 එකෙන් සෙට් වෙමු.
Yes. So that's about the physical workshop yet to conduct. I'll be sharing a feedback form now in the chat box. Feel free to give your valuable feedback, everyone, because how you felt about this program, how informative this session was to you via that feedback form. We really appreciate your feedback. We are now going to continue with Mr. Hiran Rajasuriya's presentation, where he will share even more valuable information on DIY vehicle maintenance. Please stay tuned for some insightful tips and tricks.
Right. So අර වීඩියෝ එකේ කිව්වා වගේ මේ කියන දේවල් ගොඩක් අර theoretical විදිහට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හිතෙයි. ඒකේ අර practically කරනකම් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අර confidence එක build වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ හින්දා ඊළඟ session එකට physically join වෙන්න පුළුවන් නම් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ තියෙන බය නැති කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම තමයි අර එතනදි කතා වෙච්ච ප්‍රශ්න කීපයකට උත්තර මම හිතනවා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට යම් තාක් දුරකට හම්බුණා කියලා. මෙතන මේ frequently asked questions වලින් මම තවත් සමහර ප්‍රශ්න කීපයකට උත්තර දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. හරි. මුලින්ම පටන් ගත්තොත් මේ පොඩි ජෝක් එකක් වගේ තියෙනවා. මොකද්ද මේ dashboard symbols සමහර ඔය එක එක අකුරු එහෙම ගහලා තියෙනවා කාර් පිටිපස්සේ මොනවාද ඒවල තේරුම් ඇයි එහෙම ගහන්නේ කියලා පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් එන්නේ නැති සමහර විට කාර්යය පිටිපස්සෙන් යද්දි ඇයි ඒව නිකන් ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස්මන්ට්ස් ස්ටන්ට්ස් විතරද නෑ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේ හැම දෙයකටම මොකක් හරි තේරුමක් තියෙනවා so මෙන්න මේ ජෝක් එක ගත්තොත් what is this garbage can about to shoot itself so it's not a garbage can actually it indicates that your fuel level is low so ඔගොල්ලෝ ගොඩ දෙනෙක් ඒක දන්නවා ඇති හැබැයි ඒක ගොඩක් මග ඇරෙන්න පුළුවන් සිම්බල් එකක් හරි මුල්ම ප්‍රශ්නය තමා car types මොනවාද මේ තියෙන car types අපි පාර එක එක හැඩේ තියෙන වාහන දකිනවා ඇයි එක එක හැඩ තියෙන්නේ මොනවාද එක එක හැඩවලට කියන වචන මොනවාද so this is not like a specific standard, I would say. This may change based on your geographical location, and how you pronounce each word will differ from place to place. So I will be using the pronunciation I use. So don't take it personally or anything. You can use the pronunciation you prefer. So there are, when we consider types of cars, there are micro cars, which are like very small and maybe two-seaters. And then there are sedan cars. These are quite common. You always come across daily across sedan cars. So I can give examples as the Toyota Premio and Toyota Allion, and the Nissan Sunny. So I'm clearly focusing on sedan only. So most of the models there are available as sedans and hatchback versions separately. So it's quite tricky now to just to focus on sedan models. But the Premio and Allion and the Sunny, to the best of my knowledge, they are only in sedan versions. Then we go to hatchbacks. So hatchbacks are quite popular in the current vehicle market, even globally. So the Toyota Aqua, the Honda Fit, what are the Mini Cooper. So they are some, especially the Aqua and the Fit are the most, I think, popular hatchbacks in the current in the Sri Lankan vehicle market. The boot is not like clearly visible. It's integrated into the cabin. So those are the way to identify hatchbacks, and they might be, in the first glance, they will be shorter than a sedan, a little bit shorter than a sedan. Then we come across the universal or the station wagon. So to specifically say, there are Volvo station wagons and there are Nissan station wagons and Toyota. There was a Toyota Corolla old model which has the station wagon body shape as well. Then the liftback or the sportback. So the common model, the common example you can see is the 2018 Audi A5. It had a sportback. So you see a sort of special roof line integrated into the vehicle trunk, giving the vehicle a more sporty look. So when we consider the 2023 Audi A5, both options are available, the Sportback and the normal sedan versions. So it's not like a fixed thing to say that Audi A5 is Sportback, but the 2018 version, it was only available in the Sportback roof. Then we come to the common misconception, the coupe, cabriolet, and roadster. So the coupe also can be pronounced as coupe, no matter. The coupe is a two-door, two-seater with a fixed roof. And that is the main difference, the fixed roof. So the Porsche 718 is a good example. Sorry. Okay. So the Porsche 718 is a good example of a coupe, a good performance vehicle as well. Then I will talk about the roadsters, because the coupe is different from the roadster, because the roadster has the ability to drop down the roof. So it's also a two-seater and a two-door, and but you have the ability to drop down the roof. So there are Ford Mustangs and other number of cars, Mazda Miata, where you have this option. So then the cabriolet or the convertible. So it's a four-seater and maybe a two-door or a four-door. Also, you have the option of dropping down your roof. When we consider the roof, it may be a hard top, which means it's made out of fiberglass, or it may be a soft top, which is made of leather or fabric or some sort of that soft material. So I hope I was able to clear your understanding on those car shapes. The others are not very common. They are sort of rare. Limousine are very long cars, and limousine is not exclusively like three doors. Even the BMW 7 Series, they market it as under a L badge standing for limousine. Then the muscle car, sports car, supercar, you cannot just classify them by looking at their body shapes. There are some other parameters which you need to consider as well. So especially when we consider supercar, they would be customized. They would be a limited number of production vehicles, and they will have insane engine performance levels. Especially, they would get to 0 to 100 kilometers per hour under 3 seconds, most probably. Then when we come to sports car, they may have spoilers and otherwise, but not all cars having spoilers are sports cars, because you can fit a spoiler yourself. So the spoiler need to be factory fitted, designedly fitted for that car. Why I am saying that is because even though you don't know this backlight, the roof declination angle that has been designed by engineers to be between 25 to 35 degrees, considering aerodynamic limitations. So if you just slap on a spoiler on the trunk of your car, you're changing the aerodynamic characteristics, which may cause you to lose fuel. So be mindful of that. Everything in the vehicle is engineered to requirements. So if you're changing something, better to consult an engineer or do the calculations yourself and check what you're doing is correct. Then the muscle cars are like commonly encountered in America. They have a bad mileage, I would say, but I wouldn't as we guarantee that. But they have like large engines, and they also has very good performance characteristics. Then the SUV or the sport utility vehicles, also very popular vehicle type in Sri Lanka and globally. The CUV and SUVs, the Toyota CHR, Honda Vessel, Suzuki Vitara, likewise. And the pickup trucks, the Toyota Hilux, the Mitsubishi L200, the Ford Raptor, Ford Ranger, likewise, many examples. Then I would like to address the second most commonly asked questions, old or new. So this is like a question I get from my family as well. So they say that the old cars used to be very rigid, very strong. They didn't break quickly. And the new cars are flimsy. They break at uh, basically anything. So this is not an engineering failure. This is actually engineering consideration. So the body of the vehicle, yes, was strong in old vehicles, but the passenger cabin safety was not up to like current levels. In old vehicles, they have not engineered to that level. The best example is the bonnet of the vehicle. So if you have observed a vehicle accident, you would have seen the bonnet of the vehicle folding into two. So this is how the engine bonnet is designed. So this is a sheet metal design trick, where the middle part of the bonnet is actually weaker than the other parts. So when force is applied, it will absorb that force and bend. In old vehicles, there was the risk of the hood entering the cabin area. That would it would make it act as actually a blade and cause serious damages. So those are some considerations. So and also the crumple zones. So the front and the back of the vehicles act as crumple zones, absorbing the force in an accident rather than transmitting the forces into the passenger area. So the passengers are safe. Basically, they just fold inside, just compacting on themselves rather than letting that force into the cabin area. So that's how the new vehicles are designed. Especially when talking about safety, Volvo is a brand that comes to mind. They take the safety very, very serious. So here you can see experiment done by Volvo where they dropped one of their vehicles from up to 30 meters. So if safety is a paramount to you, Volvo may be a good brand for you to look out for. Then the material innovations in new vehicles, the carbon fiber, the honeycomb sandwich aluminium, which can be found in the Ford GT, and 3D printing manufacturing methods have enhanced this safety, making cars more safer. So the manufacturer's idea is to protect the passengers and the pedestrians. You can always replace the body panels of the car, but you cannot replace the life. So that's what the design engineer's idea is. Here you can see what I have been talking about, the hood being bent from the middle. Then here you can see the Europe vehicle safety test. So Europe vehicle safety tests are very strict. They follow strict vehicle safety procedures. Here on the top you can see quite an old car being crashed, and then the Honda Fit, which has side impact airbags as well. Then here also you can see how the crumple zones acts. Here, the old vehicle, you can see most of the parts are being pushed into the cabin area, while in the new vehicle, you can see the half of the windscreen is also still intact. The force transmitting into the passenger area is very minimum, kept to a minimum level. Then another popular question, four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, what is the difference? So there is a significant difference. So this is the common symbol you see in four-wheel vehicles, 4x, 4 multiplied by 4. And in all-wheel drive vehicles, you would see the badge of AWD. So four-wheel drive is commonly available in pickup trucks and off-road capable Jeeps vehicles. All-wheel drive is not like that. It is available in cars and SUVs, which are designed for daily travel as well in suburban areas, in city areas as well. Then in four-wheel vehicles, the engine power is evenly distributed to all four wheels. So if the engine has 100 watts, I would say, for an example, 100 watts of power, each wheel would be getting 25. So it's evenly distributed. But it's not like that on all-wheel drive vehicles. All-wheel drive vehicles, they monitor the traction level of each wheel independently. If one wheel is on snow and one wheel is on mud and one wheel is on sand, so the vehicle system will monitor the traction levels and apply the available engine power accordingly to get the driver a smooth acceleration and the optimum speed available at that specific point. In four-wheel drive vehicles, the mechanism used is the transfer case, and in all-wheel drive vehicles, they use differentials, or in electric vehicles, you can use individual motors to control the uh, uh, power distribution. Then four-wheel drive is switchable, which means you can turn it off and on as you like. There are full-time four-wheel vehicles as well, but they are not very common. Most of the vehicles, it would be switchable. Then all-wheel drive vehicles, it is always on. It's not an option. When you buy the vehicle, you buy with the all-wheel drive system, and you probably cannot, sorry, you cannot probably turn off the system. Then four-wheel drive is mainly suitable for off-road driving. If you're driving in the city with four-wheel drive on, you may get a slightly lower mileage. You're burning more fuel. Then all-wheel drive vehicles are suited for both city driving on road and off-road scenarios as well. So I hope I was able to clear your any doubts you had on four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. Then comes a important topic, I would say, because especially in Sri Lanka, people just go for hybrid due to the trend without knowing what hybrid means. So it should be not so. If you're buying a hybrid vehicles, there are a large number of things you should consider. And even electric vehicles, there are a number of things you should consider. And it is actually a different topic which we should discuss thoroughly. So in hybridization, I would say this is the degree of, based on degree of hybridization, you can classify hybrid vehicles under four main categories. That is the micro hybrid, the mild hybrid, full hybrid, and plug-in hybrid. The micro hybrid, you do not get a full EV mode. That means you cannot drive from the battery alone. And it uses quite a small battery, most commonly the lead acid battery or a nickel metal hydride battery. And the regenerative braking option, it's optional. It's not guaranteed. Depending on the manufacturer, you might get it, you might not get it, or you may have to pay more to get it. Then in the micro hybrid, what happens is the engine start stop function is only facilitated by this hybrid system. If you're driving a micro hybrid in a traffic, you would experience a frequent engine stop. When you're stopping the vehicle in the traffic, you would experience the engine also stops and starts once again when you accelerate. So that's the function of the micro hybrid, and it can get you a significant fuel saving. Then we come to the mild hybrids. Mild hybrids also do not facilitate a full electric vehicle. Before that, I would have to say the Daihatsu Mira is an example for the micro hybrid, and it's available in Sri Lanka. You might have seen it. You must have seen it on the vehicle, and you may drive one. Then the mild hybrid, the example is the Honda Insight, and there are many more examples. This is just one. And again, the full electric vehicle mode is not available, but there are specific high voltage system and low voltage systems, and the regenerative braking will be available. And the motor assists the engine in propulsion. So the battery and motor will not drive the vehicle. They help the engine to get to higher speeds quickly, and in cruising speeds, highway speeds, only the engine will be working. When we go to the full hybrid, there you have the full electric vehicle mode available, but with limited range. The Toyota Aqua, Honda Fit are good examples for the full hybrid. There is a specific high voltage system and low voltage system. High voltage system with a hybrid battery with a different chemistry with nickel metal hydride or something else. Then the low voltage systems would be the lead acid battery, and regenerative braking options will be available for full hybrid as well. Then we go to the plug-in hybrid. The plug-in hybrid, the main difference from the full hybrid is the charging option. You can charge your hybrid battery from a common outlet at home if you have the charger or a charging place. So you get an extended range from this plug-in hybrid. The example is here put here is the Mitsubishi Outlander. That is not the only plug-in hybrid vehicles. The Range Rover Vogue, and there are many examples. And also, there's no such thing as the Aqua is a full hybrid. Outland is a plug-in hybrid. Based on your budget, you can customize your vehicle to be a full hybrid or a plug-in hybrid. The best example is the latest Prius. You can get the option of it being a full hybrid, and you can increase by paying more. You can get it in the plug-in hybrid mode, where you get a fixed range of 80 kilometers in the electric vehicle mode. So to summarize the degree of hybridization, I would say the idle stop-start function from the battery is available in all micro, mild, full, and plug-in hybrid vehicles. Then the assistance from the motor during acceleration and propulsion, you do not get that in micro hybrid vehicles, only in mild, full, and plug-in hybrid vehicles. Regenerative braking is available for all, but you may need to pay more in micro hybrid vehicles. Then the full electric vehicle drive mode is only available for full hybrid vehicles and plug-in hybrid vehicles. The battery charging while driving is achieved by regenerative braking, therefore it is available in all. Then the battery recharging from grid is only available for plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. Then the hybrid architecture. ඉවරයි කිව්වට ඉවරම නෑ. තව පැත්තක් තියෙනවා හිතන්න. So when we consider hybrid vehicles, based on the hybrid architecture also, there are differences. There are series hybrids, parallel hybrids, and series parallel hybrids. As you can see in the series hybrid, the engine is not directly connected to the wheels. It goes through the generator, charger, and charger provides excess energy to the battery or a capacitor where the energy is stored, and the other amount of energy is provided through the electric motor to the wheels. In the parallel hybrid, this is the architecture used in mild hybrids. They would use the engine and the electric motor in combination to drive the wheels at low speeds, and the engine will only be used in cruising speeds. And then the series parallel hybrid, where you can clearly see the engine is also connected to the wheels, and the electric motor and the electric system charger generator battery is also connected to the wheels using a power splitting device, a planetary gear set, or a dual clutch system, which differs based on your manufacturer. So this is another architecture used for full hybrid vehicles. So to summarize and give examples, a series hybrid architecture is used in the BMW i3 special version is there. So that in that model, you get a series hybrid version. The engine is not directly connected to the wheels. The regenerative braking facility is there, and plug-in facility may be available to the vehicle. Then the parallel hybrid architecture may be used by Honda. As I said for the Insight and the CRV, both engine and the battery and motor can be used to drive the wheels, but no full electric vehicle mode is available. The series parallel hybrid architecture is used in the Prius, so where the both can be the battery and motor can drive the wheels, as well as the engine only. The full electric vehicle mode is available, but you will get a higher fuel saving and a increased range from a series parallel hybrid architecture, but also when considering the maintenance cost, it would cost a little bit more than series or parallel architecture as well. Then to summarize other frequently asked questions, I would give short answers to this. 92 octane or 95 octane, which should I go with? That's a tricky question, and I would say to follow your manufacturer's specified octane level, because your engine is designed to a certain combustion point that depends on the octane level of your fuel. So that's why when you take your vehicle manual, they would probably, they have mentioned the octane level. So obviously using the sensors, the engine can change the combustion point and mitigate the conditions accordingly. But by using 95 octane, paying more, you wouldn't gain a significant benefit. Rather than that, you can just follow the manufacturer specified octane level, and the engine will be running in the optimum design conditions. Then the air, pumping air or nitrogen to your tires, which is better. So it does not have a significant benefit, I would say, to daily drivers, but nitrogen in normal conditions act as an inert gas, and in the higher pressures it's stable. So, and the nitrogen is purely nitrogen, so it does not contain any moisture. So your vehicle rim would not get rust corroded quickly. That would be a saving in the long run. So those sort of small things, if you focus, then you can pump nitrogen to your wheels. Then if you're buying a car, you might have the question to whether to buy a petrol car or a diesel. I would say if you are a fan of rapid acceleration and your driving comfort, maybe less noise and those sort of things, better to go with lower emissions, better to go with a petrol vehicle. And if you need high torque operations, like you're towing something or you're delivering some large amount of goods, better to go with a diesel vehicle, which generate more power, more torque in low speeds. so you can get your tasks easily done. Then what are these abbreviations on the vehicle trunk commonly observed? These TDI, CDI, Common Directing Detection, VTEC, VVTI. These are technologies used by manufacturers, different technologies used by manufacturers, sometimes to achieve the same thing. For an example, VTEC is the technology used by Honda to for variable valve opening distances. Then the VVTI is the variable valve timing used by Toyota. They are significantly different, and BMW also has some sort of similar, not similar, but the intended purpose is similar. Variable valve timing mechanical system. Then a novel technology, I would say, the active steering. So active steering is achieved by the vehicle stability program. It ESP, electronic stability program. It monitors the vehicle stability and the driver's input to the steering and give a correction based on the optimum conditions. So some vehicles like this feature is available mostly in high-end cars like BMW, Audi, Benz. So in BMW and Audi, they use a mechanical system to achieve this active steering. And then in modern vehicles also, they have the, especially in the Benz, they use the systems of the inputs from sensors, sort of drive-by-wire system where the electronic signals guide the steering. Here you can see a picture in the black picture. This is actually from a Lexus, the luxury, the European market aimed vehicles from Toyota. I pronounce as Lexus, it's difference from pronunciation. So here you can see there is no direct mechanical connection between the wheels, the steering column, and the crown and pinion gear you cannot see. So it's basically like a floating steering wheel. But don't worry, there is a backup motors and backup systems in case one fails, so you don't need to worry. It has the ability to transmit electronic signals and according to that, give your steering inputs to the wheels. Then another question, Toyota or Honda? So this is also a question which you can answer yourself. First, you need to identify what are your requirements. So there are differences when it comes to Toyota and Honda. Toyota is more commonly focusing their attention on CVT. So where you cannot like sort of experience, you experience a little lag in acceleration. Honda prefers to stay with the dual clutch transmission systems. They might change. So first you need to identify your requirements and then select the car matching your requirements. Then the tire sizes. So as guys, when you're street racing or when you're a racing fan, you might think you need to get more like red tires. You need to change your tire size. Doing it is actually no problem. You can do it, but you need to consider about the gear ratios and the axle diameters. So just changing your tires will get you in lot of problems because the vehicle is designed in the considering the vehicle tire diameter. The forces are all calculated, the gear ratios are calculated. So if you are changing your tire sizes, you need to do some simple calculations and change the other components as necessary. Then what is the B gear? In modern cars, you might have noticed by modern cars, I mean like cars after 2010 mostly, you would identify a gear under the D letter, you would also see a letter B. So this stands for engine brake, where it is a mechanical brake where the engine facilitates the brake force for the vehicle, which reduces the load on your braking system. So it would minimize your brake pad wear. So don't do daily driving in the B gear. So that is your engine will be revving at you will be revving your engine, which will lead to engine repairs. So better to stick to the D gear, and only when you're traveling down a mountain or a steep declination situation, you can switch to the B gear. Those are some of the frequently asked questions. So to summarize, when selecting a vehicle, you can start from the type of the vehicle you need, the price, the maintenance costs associated, the performance, engine performance, the make, the manufacturer, the load you need to deliver or travel with in day to day, then the technologies that specific manufacturer is using, then the safety. So these are the primary consideration you need to take into account when selecting a vehicle. I hope I gave an insight into all of these areas, except for maybe the price, which is uh, constantly varying due to the current market scenario. In another small thing you can do yourself is to, when you're buying a vehicle, especially if it is a second-hand vehicle, create a checklist for yourself and just check each parameter which is important to you. Just cut it out after checking. Then also you can do a simple payback period sort of calculation. If you're switching to an electric vehicle, you can calculate the amount of fuel you need monthly. Then you can calculate the electricity bill addition by the using the electric vehicle. Then you can do a cost benefit or cost. How much would you save, or how much would you increase in cost if you switch to an electric vehicle? Do it so you can do the switch in a smart way. So here are some YouTube channels which I personally look in to get know-how on cars, CarWow, Motor Trend, Engineering Explained, and US Auto Industry. Especially if you're buying a car, I would recommend going on CarWow and searching that specific car. You would get an in-depth review on most, I would say, or not for all, but it's guaranteed it would be a thorough explanation on that car. And then these are some of the websites. In here, car manuals, you can download the manufacturer specified manual for your car. And the Auto Express, you can get the checklist, create a checklist by reading a blog. Then Car Throttle and Top Gear are also websites which facilitates blogs to you to read and increase your knowledge. And it is important you can get all information from your specific manufacturer's website. So with that, I thank you all and especially thank Dr. Lihir Subusingha for the increase for like my inspiration is Dr. Lihir Subusingha, and thank you all for the staff at Diesel and Motor Engineering for increasing my knowledge, and thank you all for joining with me and listening to me. And I would now hand over proceedings to Methini.
Yes, Mr. Hiran. We actually have a couple of questions from our audience. If you get a tire patch at a higher speed, assume 100 kilometers per hour, how should you gradually reduce your speed and brake? So that is the first question from our audience.
That is a tricky question, I would say. That depends on driving conditions, the road conditions. Better to watch a standard video from European safety standards YouTube channel, and like maybe Engineering Explained, they will explain to you with references how you should act, how the forces are applied. So in my mind, I would be not, it would be ideal to apply, not to apply the brakes suddenly, the pedal brake suddenly. Let the vehicle gradually slow down without accelerating, and apply a small amount of brakes, or if the brakes are not responsive, just rapidly using your hand brake lever. Again, I'm saying this as it comes to my mind. Procedure I would follow in such scenario. Better to follow referenced video from a reference channel or read a blog and get the actual operating procedure.
Yes, hope that answered that question. And we have another question, Mr. Hiran.
Yeah.
How can driving speed affect tire pressure when you have a patch?
How can you repeat the question?
Yeah, sure. How can the driving speed affect tire pressure when you have a patch?
So the driving speed anyways affect the tire pressure because depending on the speed, the amount of friction your tire is experiencing would be different, and therefore the heat generated would be different. So the heat is directly related to the pressure. If you're familiar with the gas laws, you know the relation between the pressure and the temperature of a gas. So when you're driving, depending on the speed, there would be a difference in pressure. So it's directly related, whether or not you get a patch. I hope I answered that question.
Yes, Mr. Hiran. So that's about the questions which I got from my end. So everyone, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the chat box. So Mr. Hiran will be able to answer. All right, so apparently no questions from the audience. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we reached the end of our session today. මේ session එකෙන් වාහනයක් තෝරගනිද්දී වැදගත් කරුණු, එතකොට වාහනයක් නඩත්තු කරද්දී අවශ්‍ය වෙන කරුණු, එතකොට ගොඩාක් කරුණු මම කියපු නැති දේවල් ගොඩාක් මෙතන තිබ්බා. ගොඩාක් කරුණු මිස්ටර් හිරන් cover කරා.
Mithini, we have one question. Sorry to interrupt you. Yes, so would you recommend an old steering rack to be replaced to an old car or a new one? So currently, even I am having the same problem with my car as well. So as an engineer, I feel comfortable if I put the vehicle to the specific manufacturer and get it changed from a brand new version, because especially in Sri Lanka, most of the workshops, they do not follow the particular safety standards, and I cannot guarantee they will the quality of the machined steering rack. So better to I would feel safer, very much safer, if I'm using the manufacturer specified steering rack. Obviously, it will cost more, but at the end of the day, my mind is at peace. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm also getting another question. Are there any courses to learn about ECU models in depth? So I don't know whether they teach specifically about ECU models. So there are a large number of automotive courses available. Even at demo, there are specific automobile focus degree program conducted. So maybe look into that program schedule and module contents, and you can get the answer. The technical colleges as well, German Tech. At University of Moratuwa, you would not be learning in depth about ECU modules. You would be focusing on engineering aspects, basically. So the specific maintenance tricks and such like, I think you would get more insight in this next session about those things rather than from me. So about FAQs, the car throttle page, the Top Gear page, the head-to-head, and those sort of web pages have like long, lengthy discussions and frequently asked questions where you can get reliable answers, because the authors are, or the details of the authors are available, and mostly they are engineers or they have been studying cars for a long time. So maybe go through those sites that I suggested, and there are many more sites available. These are the I would say most popular: the Top Gear, Car Throttle, the head-to-head, the Motor Trend channels and websites. You would, I think, find a satisfactory answer. Yeah, those are the questions, Methini. You can continue. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hiran. So yes, I was telling how valuable this session was and how insightful this session was. Once again, I would like to show my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Hiran Rajasuriya and also the organizing committee of DIY for making this event a success. Hope you all enjoyed the session, and yeah, please stay connected with us for future events as well. And good night, everyone.